Okay folks, today we have a ton of potatoes we need to cook, and we're going to make French fry potato wedges. Okay, I cannot find my French fry cutter, so I'm cutting them by hand. Cut them sideways like that into 2 fillets. Bop, 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 and bop. There you go, French fries. Okay, try to make them all the same size. They'll cook evenly that way. Okay, so anyway, we have about a half a dozen or more potatoes already cooked, cut up here. I got a big pot of them there. We're gonna go to town. Okay, we're heating up our oil here in the pan, and today I am using canola oil. You can use canola oil or corn oil, works good for frying potatoes. We want to try to get this oil about 325 to 350 degrees. Looks like we're right about there. Actually a little hotter than that, but I have the thermostat on this cooker on 375. So what we're going to do is start putting our potatoes in and put them in gently. You could use a spoon. I'm going to do them by hand because I'm just going to toss them in here kind of easily. Alright. And make sure when you do this, you don't have a full pan of oil, because this stuff will overboil and go right out the top, and you'll have a big mess or a fire on your hands, okay? So that's why I only use about a quart of oil in this big pan here. And what we're going to need also is, I have a stainless steel spoon. That's for deep frying foods, okay? So what we're going to do here, we're going to let these boil for a while in the oil, and just keep an eye on them. When they get brown, they will actually stop boiling quite a bit when the moisture comes out of those potatoes, okay? So just keep an eye on them. Probably take about 8 or 10 minutes for those to be finished. Okay, it's been about 8 or 10 minutes, and these potatoes are going to take a couple more minutes longer. They're getting cooked and starting to brown up, but you got to stay on top of them. Okay, good, looking good so far. And you see over here in my pan here, I put paper towels lined in the bottom, and I'm going to throw a couple of coffee filters on top of there. And the reason why I'm doing that is when you put those greasy potatoes in there, especially when I'm going to pile them up really high, all that oil, of course, is going to go to the bottom. And if you just do it right on top of the paper towel, sometimes that paper towel gets deteriorated and it sticks to your potatoes. Okay, and kind of turns out to be a mess at the end when you get to the bottom. So anyway, the potatoes will not stick to these coffee filters. Okay, so we're going to stack them on top of the coffee filters. The grease will go through, collect in the bottom with the paper towels. That's the game plan. Okay, these are looking ready to take out of the pan. Now you see they're just a little golden brown, but they're definitely cooked all the way through, and you can tell also there's a lot less moisture bubbles bubbling up in here. Okay, remember at the beginning it was going like crazy? Now we're getting a lot less bubbles. We're going to take these out. And now also to keep in mind, a lot of these potatoes, we are going to freeze them in the freezer, okay, and eat them later because there's so much. I'm cooking 10 pounds of potatoes here. So you have to keep in mind to not cook them really super crunchy crispy, because we're going to have to cook them a little more again to warm them up again. Probably in the oven, or you could throw them in a frying pan with no oil and then cook them up again like that and warm them up. Anyways, probably the last batch I will cook them a little browner than this, but at this certain point I'm going to call it good. Okay. Just try to drain as much oil off them as you can before you put them in the pan here. And then I'm going to lightly season these with garlic pepper, okay, which is actually garlic salt and pepper together. Just a little bit on there. Okay, let's throw some more potatoes in the oil here. Try not to splash yourself. Okay, that's about enough for that. Just make sure they're all submerged. So we're going to continue doing this, get them all cooked up here, and then I'll show you the final product and we're all done. Okay, gang, I just pulled out the last potato fries here, and I let them cool down to room temperature, and we're going to put them in the freezer bag with all the rest that we made earlier. Whoops. And I'll tell you what, these are very tasty, yummy, crispy fries. Actually, the last batch I made them a little thinner, more like potato chip fries. But they are delicious, okay? So what I'm going to do, put them back in this freezer bag. I'm going to throw them in the freezer again. And I think we made about 4 or 5 pounds of toasty potato fries out of 10 pounds of potatoes. I've been out here for a few hours cooking these up. So anyway, there you go. Potato fries for days. Instant French fries anytime.